Alright, let's get real for a second. Attraction is not always about the words that come out of someone's mouth. Sometimes it's written all over their body. And when a woman is into you, like really into you, her body starts giving off signals that are practically screaming, "Hey, I want you." Now, here's the wild part. Most guys completely miss these signals. They think she's just being friendly, or they brush it off like it doesn't mean anything. But women are rarely that obvious with desire. Instead, they give you these subtle, sometimes unconscious cues that tell you exactly what's going on inside their head and their body. So let's talk about those signals. First up, lingering eye contact. If she's looking at you longer than what's socially normal, especially if her eyes drop down to your lips, that's not by accident. That's her mind wandering to what it would feel like to kiss you. Eyes are like the first invitation before anything physical even happens. Second, her body orientation. Pay attention to the way she positions herself. If her legs are crossed toward you, if her shoulders are squared to face you, if she leans in closer than necessary, yeah, her body is literally pulling her in your direction. That's not casual, that's craving. Third, fidgeting or playing with objects. Maybe she's twirling her hair, stroking the rim of her glass, or running her fingers across her lips. These aren't random, they're displacement behaviors, little physical outlets for the sexual energy she's feeling in that moment. Fourth, her voice changes. Women often unconsciously drop into a softer, slower, more sensual tone when they're turned on. She might laugh a little easier, her voice might linger on certain words. It's her way of flirting with sound. Fifth, touch. The classic sign, she'll find reasons to brush your arm, tap your chest when she's laughing, or rest her hand on your leg. Those little touches are her way of saying, "I want more contact." And let's be real, nobody touches you like that by mistake. Finally, mirroring. If she starts copying your movements, sipping her drink when you do, leaning back when you do, smiling when you smile, it means she's syncing up with you. Her body is literally aligning itself with yours, and that's one of the clearest unconscious signs of desire. Now, here's the thing, none of these by themselves are a guarantee. But when you start stacking them together when she's locking eyes, leaning in, laughing softly, touching your arm, playing with her hair, it paints a very clear picture. Her body is craving intimacy with you, even if her words haven't said it outright. The key for you? Awareness. Don't bulldoze through the signals, but also don't ignore them. If you notice her energy pulling you in, respond with your own confidence. Match your eye contact, close the distance just a little, lower your voice. Let the chemistry build naturally. Because desire isn't always shouted, it's whispered through the little things. And if you can read those whispers, you'll know exactly when her attraction is way past casual and into craving. So many people walk around thinking that attraction is all about what someone says. Like if she says she's interested or if she tells you she thinks you're cute, then you know she's into you. But here's the thing, most of the time women aren't gonna flat out say it. Desire doesn't usually start with words. It starts with the body. Her body is the first one to raise its hand and say, "Hey, I like what I see." And if you're not paying attention, you'll miss it. The truth is, a woman's body is giving you signals long before her mouth ever does. And those signals, they can be powerful, clear, and sometimes a little sneaky. They're not random. Her body language is literally speaking its own language, and if you know how to read it, you'll know exactly when she's craving you. Let's start with the eyes. Eyes are like windows, but they're also like flashlights. When a woman holds eye contact with you just a little too long, or if her gaze drops down to your lips and back up again, that's not small talk happening in her head. That's her imagination already skipping ahead to physical closeness. Eyes don't lie, especially when desire is bubbling up. If she looks away quickly and then looks back again, that's her testing the waters. She wants to see if you're gonna notice and meet her in that same space of attraction. Then there's the way her body points. You don't even have to be a psychologist to catch this one. If she's angled toward you, her feet are pointing in your direction, and she's leaning just slightly closer than she needs to, that's her body literally saying, "I want more of you." Humans are hardwired this way. We angle toward what we want. If she were bored, she'd be leaning back looking at her phone or scanning the room. But when her whole body is drawn in toward yours, that's craving in action right in front of you. And let's talk about touch for a second, because this one is huge. Touch is one of the clearest ways women express desire without ever saying it. She's not gonna just grab you out of nowhere, but she'll find reasons to break that physical barrier. A little brush on your arm, tapping your chest when she laughs, resting her hand on your shoulder, it's her way of saying, "I want to feel closer." Touch releases dopamine and oxytocin, those feel-good chemicals that bond people together. So when she initiates that, even in a playful or casual way, her body is already chasing that chemistry. Another one that guys miss all the time, fidgeting. If she's twirling her hair, running her fingers across her lips, tracing the rim of her glass, that's not just nervousness. That's her body redirecting energy, sexual energy. She's feeling something, and it's coming out through these little physical outlets. It's like her hands are betraying the secret her words aren't ready to admit yet. And oh, her voice. This one can drive you crazy if you pick up on it. When a woman is turned on, her voice tends to drop just a little. It softens, slows down, and becomes more melodic. She might laugh more easily or linger on certain words. Her voice becomes this little flirtation tool, and she doesn't even realize she's doing it. It's her body making the conversation feel more intimate, more magnetic, more about you. Now here's the kicker. None of these signals alone mean she's head over heels, obsessed with you. But when you start stacking them together, when she's making long eye contact, leaning in, brushing your arm, playing with her hair, and speaking in that softer, slower tone, it becomes almost impossible to ignore what's going on. Her words might still be casual, but her body is shouting from the rooftops, "I want you." And this is why awareness is everything. If you're not tuned in, you'll think she's just being friendly. You'll miss the fact that her body language is the real story. Attraction doesn't usually walk in the front door with a big sign that says she's into you. It slips in through the side, through her eyes, her posture, her touch, her tone. So, here's the deal. Start paying attention. Next time you're with a woman, watch the little things. Where are her eyes going? How is her body positioned? Is she finding excuses to touch you or to stay close? These are the signs that tell you her body is speaking louder than her words. And when you can read that, you unlock a whole different level of connection. Because you're not just listening to what she's saying, you're tuning into what she's feeling. And that's where the real attraction lives. Here's something most people don't realize. Noticing attraction is only half the game. You can be the world's best body language detective, but if you freeze up, overthink, or do nothing with that information, it doesn't go anywhere. Reading her signals is the first step, but responding with awareness and confidence is what actually turns sparks into fire. Think about it. If she's leaning in, locking eyes, and playfully brushing your arm, she's basically handing you a green light. But too many guys slam on the brakes out of fear. They think, what if I'm reading this wrong? Or what if I make it weird? And in that hesitation, the moment dies. Attraction is all about timing. It's not about being pushy or rushing. It's about matching her energy in the moment and showing her that you're present enough, confident enough to meet her where she's at. So what does awareness actually look like? It's about being tuned in. You're not zoning out, you're not stuck in your head. You're right there, noticing her cues and adjusting your vibe to match. If she leans closer, you don't pull back nervously. You lean in just enough to close the gap. If she lowers her voice, you don't keep talking like you're across a football field. You soften your tone too, make it feel like the whole world just shrunk down to the two of you. That awareness is sexy because it shows her you're connected, that you get the rhythm she's creating. And then comes confidence. Confidence is not about swagger or some cheesy pickup line. It's about ease. It's about being so comfortable in yourself that you can let things flow without trying too hard. When she gives you those signals and you respond calmly, steady eye contact, relaxed posture, a playful smile, you send her a message louder than words, "I can handle this connection." And that's incredibly attractive because women don't crave nervous energy. They crave the calm, magnetic pull of a man who's sure of himself. Here's an example. Say she's sitting across from you, twirling her hair, biting her lip a little, and holding your gaze. A guy without awareness might just ramble on about random topics, totally missing that she's practically radiating attraction. A guy with awareness and confidence, though, would slow down. He'd let the silence breathe for a moment, smile knowingly, maybe lean in and say something simple like, "You're trouble, aren't you?" That's not a pickup line, it's a confident acknowledgement of the energy between you, and she'll feel it. Confidence also means not overreacting. Let's say she touches your arm. Instead of flinching or acting like it's nothing, you hold that eye contact, maybe mirror the gesture later. You don't have to make a big deal out of it, you just reflect the attraction back in a way that's natural. It tells her, yeah, I felt that too. That's what builds chemistry. The back and forth dance of energy where both people are aware and responsive. Another part of confidence? Patience. A lot of guys think as soon as they sense attraction, they've got to pounce. But chemistry doesn't work like that. It's not about rushing. It's about building tension. When you're confident, you don't feel the need to grab everything all at once. You let the attraction simmer. You tease with your eyes, play with your words, match her movements, and you let her want to lean in further. That's how real craving builds. It's in the slow burn, not the rush. And let's not forget, women can feel the difference between a guy who's forcing it and a guy who's flowing with it. If you're forcing it, you'll come off as awkward, or worse, aggressive. You're flowing with it, you're just riding the wave of what's already there. You're co-creating the vibe together. That's what makes her feel safe, excited, and hungry for more all at the same time. So awareness and confidence together, that's the secret combo. Awareness says, I see you. Confidence says, I can meet you here. And when she feels both, that's when the chemistry lights up like fireworks. Because here's the truth. Attraction is not some magical mystery that just happens. It's a conversation spoken not just with words, but with eyes, with posture, with touch, with timing. And if you can read that language and respond with calm confidence, you stop being the guy who misses the moment and you start being the guy who owns it. So don't just notice her signals. Lean into them, match her energy, smile when she smiles, lower your voice when she lowers hers, touch when it feels right, and trust yourself enough to know you're reading the moment correctly. That's how you unlock chemistry. That's how you take her craving and turn it into connection.